But the most important thing is being ordinary is okay, but being just ordinary is very special.
No, it's very difficult to be ordinary. See, we have been brainwashed to believe that you cannot be an ordinary man. You see, so we have created a model. And what is that model? The model of those spiritual teachers.
The ladder.
And you want everybody to fit himself or herself, as the case may be, into that model. That's the cause of our misery, that's the cause of our suffering. Why should you be like Buddha? Why should you be like those spiritual teachers? They existed thousands and thousands of years ago. And what is there is something unique, something extraordinary. There is nobody like you anywhere on this planet. And that living organism, you see, is the result of millions and millions of years of the past. You see, you cannot compare anything with that. You see, unfortunately, the belief that you should be something like that, that you should not be this, that you should not be that, you see, we are caught up in this. And people ask me these questions, you suggest people to do this and murder, get away. You watch movies full of murder, mayhem, rape, but you don't do anything that you ask people to do. I am not recommending anything. I am not condemning anything, you see. And those who condemn really are not the kind of people that should condemn, you see. If that is operating in their lives, they wouldn't condemn anything. To me, there is no such thing as morality at all. So I can never be moral. So I am not trying to be free from these opposites, good and bad, right and wrong, morality and immorality. I'm just not caught up in that at all.
So as soon as we think we should be good,
then you are bad.
Then you're really bad.
Yes, really bad. The only bad thing comes out because you are going to be good tomorrow and 10 days after, next year, 10 years after, and the Indians have invented a thing called next life, and always next life. You know, nobody can get enlightenment in the present life, according to the Hindu tradition. Impossible. You have to go through 84 million lives. Even then you have to be born as a cow. No chance. And then you as a Brahmin, the highest caste there. Then you have a chance, maybe. Not in this life. And how come all these people there, the gurus in the marketplace, selling
ideas
that you can be enlightened, you see. Yeah?
So it's our ideas.
According to that tradition, I don't believe in tradition at all, you see, but whatever that word means, that such a man, if there is an enlightened man, he is not interested in enlightening anybody else because he does not know that he is an enlightened being. He will never pronounce to the wide world that he is an enlightened man, that he is going to enlighten everybody. This is a marketplace, so there is a demand and supply. That's all there is to it. So you can live in hope one day you are going to be an enlightened man and probably set up holy business like the gurus in the marketplace and make money.
Yeah, because everybody wants to be better and more and clear and holy.
And it is that is creating the misery for the people. That's all that I am saying, you see. And you are wanting to fit into a framework created by those people, modeled after those teachers, whether they existed or not, I don't know, and I don't care, you see. I have never been interested in that kind of a thing. I read once a student, The Lives of Saints, Catholic saints, 8 volumes, each one as big as the Encyclopedia Britannica. And the writers have tried to fit them into that mold and say all of them from their childhood live exactly the same way the saint is supposed to be, you see, you know. And I give you a personal example, you see, a friend of mine who has been with me for almost 25 years and a great Harikatha man, you see, he gives religious discourses with music, singing, songs. Both of them wanted to give a religious musical discourse on this man called Yogi. They spent 3 months trying to find out one event in my life which could be footed into that beautiful songs. So they gave up.
She gave up?
They gave up. That man was very well known for his musical discourses, religious discourses. He gave discourses on Ramana Maharshi, everybody dead and alive and yet to be born. But every time he gave a discourse, he used to draw 5,000, 6,000, 8,000 people from every walk of life. It is impossible. There is not one event in his life which could be fitted into a saintly life. And much later on.
What is stability? How does it matters, and where does it come from, and how it really gives a feeling of
That is an assumption on our part given to us by the scientists that there is a stability here. Everything must be stable. Why? Why should it be stable? It is. We don't know whether there is any stability. We don't know whether there is any order in this universe or chaos. And somebody says there is chaos and he gets a Nobel Prize. Another fellow says that there is order, he gets a Nobel Prize. Now somebody comes along and says that in the same frame there is chaos and there is order. So where do we go from there?
So when we are born, we learn a bunch of stories, and basically it's all lies.
The mother first imposes all things on us, first of all. And then that's why I call mothers monsters. I'm sorry, you see.
So we should call it Monster Day.
I was on TV Asia program there, and one woman was giving birth to a baby, and she watched my program. What should I do with my baby? Abandon that baby, I said. And why mothers are monsters? Even my interviewer happened to be a woman. She said, I'm a mother, I have 4 children, you see. I said, all right, the mothers are monsters, and the children are no angels. You see. And what about fathers? They don't count at all, you see.
So they don't count.
No, you are trying to be funny, but you know, from the time they are born, you see, the first time a mother kisses the baby, that's the beginning of the end. You see, you know. And we have not come up with any idea how to raise
So
children.
one of the basic messages of most religions is that, like in Christianity, we are born bad,
Yeah.
full of sin,
No.
and we have to be baptized in order to become more or less passable, isn't it?
Otherwise, they cannot be in the holy business.
It's a business.
It's a business, holy business. It's a lot easier to be in holy business than in this real business. If you don't deliver goods, you are out of business.
So that's why we have the business of
And
enlightenment.
see, they can get away without delivering the goods. They promise you so many things: happiness, peace, bliss, beatitude, immensity, God knows what, and we fall for that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then they get away with that kind of a thing. They make money, you know. Otherwise, is it possible to buy a Rolls-Royce car, 90 of them, 360 Rolls-Royce cars? Try and buy one.
No.
And we fall for that kind of a thing, you see. And they are all con men. Con men. They con themselves and conned everybody. And the question should arise in you, the basic question, why do I allow myself to be conned? You know. And if there is an answer, you have to find that answer out for yourself and by yourself. So that was my question.
Because I believe I'm not good enough, or I'm bad, or I should be enlightened, I'm in the dark, or...
What will you do with enlightenment?
I don't know.
They set up a holy business.
Yeah.
Easy way to make money. So you can thrive on the gullibility and credulity of the people and make plenty of money. And many of them believe that the world was a living to them. Why should the world owe a living to them? What for? They claim that they are, you see, enlightened people.